Hey there, Bridgepoint. Thanks so much for joining us again for another devotional. I hope you are finding these encouraging. And if this is your first time with us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon so that you can be notified every week when we post another Devo. So for today, I wanted to read out of the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. It says, "But if you refuse to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Would you prefer the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates? Or will it be the gods of the Amorites in whose land you now live? But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord." You know, as I read this, one of the things that I considered is that we have the authority and the power to make a choice for our own life. You have the power of choice in the sense that you choose what it is you want to dedicate your life to, and in a bigger picture, what God you are to serve. Yeah, there is only one God, but you know, many times we begin to idolize certain things through our walk, through our journey. And many times in some shape, way, or form, we begin to worship that thing, be it our jobs, be it our career, be it even our family, our children. And I feel like this verse here is kind of categorizing two different types of gods. The first one is talking about ancestors. And I feel like this has to do with tradition. This has to do with things that we naturally or maybe genetically are kind of inclined to want to serve. And sometimes it's through habits, it's traditions, it's what our parents taught us, our grandparents, it's what they've always done. They've always been so focused about money, or maybe they've always been so focused about career. And many times we tend to default to the things or what our ancestors have put all of their attention to, and they've placed God on a cabinet and they've forgotten about him. And then it categorizes the land that you currently live in that the Amorites serve. And I feel like that has to do with the now, the society, country, trends, what's famous on TikTok right now, what's famous on this, that. We tend to submerge ourselves in all these things that are trending. That, you know, I don't mean to sound all hypocritical or anything like that, but just, you know, compare the amount of time that you spend on TikTok or social media or on Netflix binge watching compared to the amount of time that we sometimes spend trying to get to know God, studying his word, seeking his presence, seeking his will for our lives. And many times one definitely outweighs the other, but we have the authority to choose. You know, maybe you haven't been making the right choices lately. Maybe you haven't been choosing wisely for your life. Or in this case here, Joshua's talking about his whole family. You know, maybe you haven't been making the right decision for your family. You know, we are called to lead by example. So yeah, maybe we haven't been making the right choices in the last, I don't know, months, weeks, maybe even years, whatever. But you have the authority and the power to start making choices now. You make the decision now and say just what Joshua said. As for me and my family, or in other versions, in my house, we will serve the Lord. You know, there's a quote that I heard once. It's something like, yesterday's a memory, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a present. And that's why they call it the present, right? It's something along those lines. Going back to like the Kung Fu Panda days when I watched that turtle, or what was it? A tortoise? Anyways, in that little segment right there where he says that tomorrow is a mystery. And yeah, tomorrow we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I get that. But you know that your decisions today will affect your tomorrow. So if you're wondering what your tomorrow is gonna look like, look at your decisions today. And the only explanation of where you're at today are the decisions that you made yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So what you choose to do today, the God that you worship today, those choices, all of that will affect your tomorrow. This is reaping and sowing 101. We have, as cultivators and farmers of our own life, have the power to make decisions now that will affect our tomorrow and what it is that you are planting into your life. Not just the what it is, but when you start. The later you start planning, the later you will get the harvest. Here's another verse that I want to read. 2 Corinthians 9:6 says, "Remember this, a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop, but the one who plants generously will get a generous crop." What seed are you planting in your life? What seed are you planting for your future? What seeds are you planting in your home? What seeds are you planting in your heart? Because what it is that you plant will affect what you reap tomorrow. And today, decisions that you make, what gods you are serving, who you are honoring, all of that will affect your tomorrow. And until you begin to honor God with your decisions, will that be an invitation for God to come in and begin to work through you and in you? And yeah, there are things that happen that we can't control. Yes, there are things that come into our lives that are way out of our control. But even when those things confront us, even when those things come into our lap or into our face, we have the decision still on how we are to react. We have the decision still on what it is that we're going to do with this situation. And you have the authority and you have the power to choose Christ. You have the power and authority to choose truth and choose love and choose forgiveness and choose God's will, even in the midst of the difficult things that come into our lives. And yeah, God has predestined a walk and a will for our lives and a plan for our lives. Yeah, but that doesn't automatically mean you're going to be walking in that tomorrow. You have to make the decision today to seek God's will. And you need to say, God, show me, reveal to me that walk in which you have prepared for me, so that I may walk in obedience, so that I may walk in honor, so that I may walk in the fullness of what you have prepared for me and what you've created me to be. But it's all a choice, and it's all up to you. It's all up to you. No. Well, yes. Yeah, it is all up to you. Make the decision. I want to encourage you this week. Take it every morning and say, God, show me today what it is that I need to do to honor you. I want to choose you. I don't want to choose my emotions. I don't want to choose my feelings. I don't want to choose my friends. I don't want to choose my habits. I don't want to choose traditions. I want to choose you. And you will begin to see how God will begin to reveal himself to you, so as long you seek to find him. Hey, well, thank you so much for joining us for this Devo. I hope it was encouraging to you. And I just want to encourage you, look for those opportunities to make those choices in which you can honor God. Remember, be the bridge people need to find Christ. And we'll see you on the next one. God bless.